no surprise, Seattle has been struggling, dropping their last 5, but they've been close games by 4 points or less. And I had a chance to speak with head coach Noelle Quinn, and I asked her about the adjustments she was going to make for tonight, especially in crunch time. And she said that she feels like they can execute in a timely manner offensively. Coach, that's 10 trays for your squad in the first half. When your team is shooting like that from beyond the arc, you encourage them to ride that wave? The last time the Golden Eyes played here was 9 days ago, but this is game 2 of their 5-game homestand, and the Golden Eyes are looking for points. As for the Boston Fleet, they've been rolling. They've won 5 in a row, but they are taking a West Coast trip, so they're playing a back-to-back. They're in Seattle tomorrow. And as for the standings, Boston has been killing it. They're at the top right now. Nneka, you dropped 20 points tonight. Obviously, a full effort from the squad. How imperative was it to get this win at home tonight? I had a chance to speak with Flo earlier, and we talked about how this defense has a new energy and a new vibe. He said even though there's a lot of new pieces, we have unbelievable chemistry. And he talked about some of the guys like Jalen Hutchins. He said this guy is an absolute superstar, and he's going to be a great professional in this league for quite some time. He also gave props to Jacob Roberts. Maddie, you made big save after big save. One of your biggest saves was when you robbed Izzy Daniels in the beginning of the 3rd period. Do you remember that, and can you walk me through that save? I had a chance to speak with Vernon Adams Jr., and he told me, yeah, Trevor Harris and I go way back. And Farhan, you mentioned it there. They were both in Montreal together. And when I talked to Vernon, he said, I learned a lot from Trevor Harris. He said he really taught me how to be a professional in this league and also just to be a quarterback. Stewie, how nice was it for you guys to get the victory and snap that 5-game road losing streak? Kelly, you've been on an absolute tear lately in terms of scoring goals. You're feeling good out there. What's been working well for you this season? McLeod, you guys have now won 2 in a row. Very efficient game for you. You went 30 for 40, had a touchdown, almost close to 300 yards. Talk to me a little bit about your performance tonight. Coach, Nneka was able to hit that tray before the end of the half, but offensively a bit of a struggle. What was your message to your team when they were getting looks but not hitting? Vancouver and Boston scoreless after 20 minutes on the ice. I'm joined alongside Izzy Daniel. Izzy, we know Boston's defense is really stingy. What are you seeing from them so far? If you take a look at those standings, it's been a tale of 2 different stories for the Rush and the Roughnecks. And I had a chance to talk to Jimmy Quinlan, and he said that he felt like during the preseason, they actually stunk. They didn't really like the way that they played. Keyshawn, you made some big catches as now your team has a momentum heading into the second half. When you guys were going through that slow stretch offensively, what was being said on the sidelines? Well, it's pretty simple. Win and get in, right? I had a chance to speak with head coach Noelle Quinn and asked her what her message has been to her team. And she said, we have to focus and, of course, prepare for this game and just take care of business. VA, you actually were very resilient in this game, and so was your squad. Down by 1 at the half. You guys come back in the second half, and you don't let up. What kind of switched for you guys mentally in that second half? The LA Sparks were on quite the run. They won 5 in a row, and then they lost to Vegas a couple of days ago. And head coach Lynn Roberts said it was one of their worst offensive performances and one of their worst shooting performances of the season. Welcome back to Vancouver. I'm joined alongside Coach Klee. Coach, before that power play goal by Buckbinder, special teams was struggling a bit. How good did that one feel? You guys have been in close games all year long. There's 1 more quarter left. How do you close this one out against New York? Jalen, you had quite the second half. How were you feeling, and how has your confidence just risen throughout the season? Dom, it was extremely physical in that 3rd quarter. What was the intensity level like in that 3rd compared to the first half? Erica, you hit the game-winning shot that pretty much punched the ticket for your Seattle Storm to head to the postseason. What did you see there on that shot? Flo, obviously Winnipeg has a high-powered offense. Brady Oliveira back as well. What do you guys need to do as a defense to slow them down tonight? It's Jen Gardner bobblehead day. And, of course, the bobblehead fans are feeling good, and the Minnesota Frost are feeling good. They're on a 4-game win streak. And as for the Golden Eyes, well, they have been struggling offensively, but in their last game against New York, they scored 5 goals. And they're going to need that momentum tonight against a very tough Frost team. If we take a look at the standings, Vancouver, 10 games remaining, and they need all the points they can get. They're 7 back of Toronto for that 4th and final spot. And as you can see, Minnesota at the top there with 39 points in a 3-way tie with Montreal and Boston. This is the 3rd meeting between these 2 teams, and Minnesota took care of the Golden Eyes in the previous 2. For more on that, let's get you to James Cebulski and Becky Keller.